Touareg, a fantastic album consisting of 17 tracks. Why first I made this Touareg album, and what is behind the name Touareg? Well, it was released in 2008, and I remember myself ditching me a little bit from the scene and wanting to explore new horizons musically. And I remember wanting to play and record music with street musicians and church musicians as well, and do crazy things that way. And this is exactly what I did with the first part of that album. So Touareg consists of first 9 tracks, that brand new tracks that I made with those street and church musicians, basically. So it was a very, very nice experience. I remember Coca Song, but also Mahebur Express and Sunshine in Your Heart, and of course Urban Touareg. These are the 4 ones that come to mind when it comes to dance floor. Still going for progressive trance, but with a harder edge, with a faster tempo as well. We are around 132, 134. Back in that day, you know, that kind of trance was really getting mainstream, especially the sound of, let's say, techie progressive trance. This is exactly what I did with that one. Inspiration. A lot of inspiration for Touareg. Of course, the church and street musicians I worked with. You know, that's your main source of inspiration. Collaboration was the integral part of the inspiration that I used for this album. So really, really cool. And yeah, a lot of church music that I got to listen to back in the day, because to go to church myself a long time ago. And tons of great techno ideas that I gathered over the past few months from back then. And yeah, that made the album, the essence of Touareg. The gear that I used was really approximately the same as the Trilogic, just a different Mac, I guess, but also a lot of controllers, because I really wanted to play a bit more live on those things. And I remember making use of Ableton Live as the front end for each and every single track in that album. Instead of, you know, I went from Logic to Ableton Live specifically for that album, because it was easier to put ideas together in there back in the day. So yeah, Ableton Live is a very important part of the creative process behind Touareg. My favorite track must be the first one, Notice of Eviction, because yeah, it's a very it's a track that I made out of the blue. I was not even thinking about what I was doing, and I was like, okay, let's make an orchestral track in 11/8. So that was one of my first crazy ideas for an album. So it was like the intro to the rest of the album, which was a lot more straightforward and dance floor friendly, fortunately, but really, really cool. And nevertheless, I find the other tracks as impressive. My second favorite must be probably Urban Touareg, because it has a very strong emotional content, and the vocals from Angelique from back then, 11 years ago already. Amazing. She did that in, I'd say 10 minutes or something. She came in to record a violin part for me, just to redo a violin recording that I had, and we ended up recording her vocals instead, because she was like, I find myself better at vocals. And I was like, what? It was perfect, really, really cool. So my favorite track for sure. Also worth mentioning, consisting of 17 tracks, and I forgot to talk about that, so we'll probably do the edit after that. I remade 8 tracks of my existing classics, Save Me among others, but also Alone in the Dark, in a harder edge, you know, sticking to the mainstream genre of trance from back then. And I still play some of those remakes, such as Sky Blues, because the original Sky Blues was really soft and dreamy. So I wanted to make a harder version, which is what I made thanks to Touareg. So let me re-explore my existing material in new ways.